I feel like when I don't hold that chip on my shoulder, I'm not as good. But now I'm just going to keep it on there.
Yes, it counts! Another phenomenal shot by the spectacular Dwyane Wade.
Well, this matchup features two of the most improved teams in the NBA this year. The Heat improved by 28 wins from a season ago, the biggest turnaround in the NBA. Meanwhile, the Hawks were one of only 3 other teams who improved by at least 10 wins from last season. Now, last year was a good year for Atlanta. They were the number 8 seed, surprised everyone when they took the Celtics to 7 games in the first round. Instead of the big 3 now, they have the big one that they're going to face in Dwyane Wade. The question begs, can Wade carry Miami into the next round by himself? He's had a run almost unparalleled since the All-Star break.
Well, he can carry the team, but he has to play above and beyond what he's done in the regular season. He's averaged 30 points a game, but look at that 2-guard matchup with Dwyane Wade and Joe Johnson. I'm a wing guy. I like wing players. I know Jalen Rose, I consider you more of a point guard because I know what you did to me in the NCAA tournament. But Joe Johnson can really get it done. He just doesn't have the pop and glitter that Dwyane Wade has. Obviously, Dwyane Wade averages 30 points a game. Joe Johnson at 21. Both can handle the ball, play the point guard position, can rebound the basketball. But I think the Atlanta Hawks can throw a wave of defenders at Dwyane Wade. You can get Josh Smith, you can get Maurice Evans, and even Flip Murray. So it's going to be difficult for Dwyane Wade to get out of that series with the Miami Heat.
And this playoffs is different for Dwyane Wade compared to 2006 playoffs when they won the championship. During that year, he had Shaquille O'Neal on his team. Experience, James Posey, Jason Williams, Alonzo Mourning. This year, inexperience at key positions, especially at point guard with Mario Chalmers and Michael Beasley, another young player that's a power forward, and also a head coach in Eric Spoelstra, who I think has done a phenomenal job this year. This is his first time in the playoffs. So this year, Wade in the playoffs in the first round, he's going to have to get maybe 50 points a couple of games.
Wow.
He's had 3 50-point games this year. They're 2-1. So he's going to need to have some big games and really carry the load for them offensively.
You don't think they can win without him scoring 50 at least twice?
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because also with Atlanta, lost to Boston last year in the first round. We're going to see what they learn from that series, and they also have home court.
And Mike Woodson, their head coach, feels like they're ready to take a step forward. Jalen, what about an X factor in this series?
It has to be Josh Smith, one of the most athletic players in the NBA. Pure athletes, can play both forward positions. And that's going to be key, especially on defense. He allows them to switch screen and rolls. He can contest guard shots, and then he can run out on the break and finish with the best of them in the league. Has been one of the league leaders in block shots, in steals, in dunks. All he has to do was concentrate, knock down his perimeter shot, especially from three-point range. He's going to be a guy that's a big-time matchup problem for the Miami Heat. He just has to keep his motor running.
And this is a series, guys, where they're going to double-team and triple-team Dwyane Wade. His supporting cast, they're going to have to make shots.
And also look at Mike Bibby as well, because he's playing against a rookie point guard in Mario Chalmers. And a lot of people ask, does that NCAA shot transfer to playoff basketball? No, it doesn't, because it's a 7-game series and intensity level rises.
So all hands up if you feel Atlanta in this one?
ATL.
Okay, all right. As I mentioned before, this is the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons that these two teams will meet in the postseason, talking about the Pistons and the Cavs. Back in 2006 in the conference semis, Detroit beat Cleveland in 7 before losing to the Heat in the conference finals. That was 2006. Now, 2 years ago, these two teams met in the East Finals, and LeBron's monster 48-point performance in a Game 5 double overtime win lifted the Cavs to a 4-2 series win. Cavaliers made their franchise's first NBA Finals, but were swept by the San Antonio Spurs. Now, LeBron and his teammates have different expectations going into this year's series and playoffs.
As a team, we don't talk about getting to the finals. We do talk about winning the whole thing, and we talk about getting better every day. It doesn't matter if it's the Lakers or any other of those teams in the Western Conference. It'd be great for us to get back there and try to do what we didn't do 2 years ago when we went to the final. So we're looking forward to the opportunity of getting into the playoffs and making our mark.
What else has to happen for Cleveland to win a championship this year?
First of all, healthy. We have to stay healthy, and secondly, defend. I think for the most part, myself and Mo and Z and Delonte is going to shoulder the load offensively. And if everybody buy into their roles and buy into the system and know that defensively, if we play like we know how to play defensively, we're going to give ourselves a good chance to win the NBA championship.
Well, the guys of the Detroit Pistons have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals 6 consecutive times, but the Cleveland Cavaliers ran away and hid from everybody practically in the Eastern Conference. Jamal, how do you see this playing out?
Well, I think the Cavaliers move on, but it stops and starts with LeBron James. I mean, he is the king. He could be the MVP this year, taking it away from Kobe Bryant. And you have to marvel at a 24-year-old, the way he handles the situation. I mean, he's playing on the big stage. He's been on the big stage since he was coming out of high school. His leadership is he's really grown into a leadership role. He has earned the respect of his teammates by playing on a defensive end. He's really taught them, follow me, I will take you to the promised land. But he's also an unselfish basketball player, and he understands team concepts. I think LeBron James, I mean, he's the best player in the NBA right now, but, Kobe Bryant still is as well. But LeBron is the MVP, and as LeBron goes, the Cavs go.
LeBron James' confidence as an NBA player, especially in the playoffs, came against the Detroit Pistons in 2006. That heroic 48-point game, that propelled him not only to being what we consider one of the best players in the league, but since then it seemed like the Detroit Pistons went just the opposite way. Anytime you trade Chauncey Billups for Allen Iverson, it looks good on paper, but it didn't work in the lineup. That's not the number one reason why. They're the AC as opposed to being one of the favorites and the most consistent teams that we've seen in the East the last handful of seasons. But boy, how the mighty have fallen.
Avery, what's the X factor, the wild card in this series, if there is one?
Well, I wouldn't even call him an X factor. The big key for the Cleveland Cavaliers is Mo Williams. All right, Mo Williams has only played in a few playoff games, 7 playoff games, 7 points a game, 2 assists. This is his time to be on the big stage, all right? Can his numbers increase from his All-Star season in the regular season this year and the playoffs? The question is, can he carry the Cavaliers when LeBron James is resting? He did a terrific job of carrying them and allowing LeBron James to be fresh for the end of games. And also his defense. In this series, his defense is going to be key against Rodney Stuckey, Will Bynum, who's playing terrific for the Detroit Pistons. If they advance, Mike Bibby. If they go further, then obviously Rondo and Marbury in the Eastern Conference Finals if they meet, or, Rayford Austin from Orlando. So his performance in these playoffs is going to be a big key for their success.
Got 1 and number 2 with LeBron and Mo Williams. Does Detroit even have a puncher's chance?
No.
Who do we like?
No, I like the Cavs, and you look at the coaching matchup with Mike Brown and Michael Curry. It's all about adjustments in the playoffs, and I don't think Curry can make those adjustments.
Jalen, who do you like?
Lots of cap space in Detroit, lots of changes. I'm taking the Cavs.
Avery?
Cavalier, Cavs all the way.
Broom job, it sounds like here. Well, on another note, NBA coaches participating in the playoffs will honor former NBA coach Chuck Daly, who was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in February and is currently undergoing treatment for that disease. They will wear a lapel pin with the initials CD as a show of support for Daly. The Hall of Famer coached the Cavaliers, Pistons, Nets, and Magic, and led the 1992 Dream Team to a gold medal. And proud to say that we here at ESPN going to be supporting Coach Daly as well, wearing some of those lapels. He's a Hall of Famer. He has been great for the game of NBA basketball. Well, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, a couple of old rivals will collide once again. I-35, San Antonio to Dallas. How many miles is that, Avery?
About 200.
And some great lasting images from a wonderful regular season.